What is up, my dude and dudettes, and welcome back to TellerTube. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the subreddit r/idontworkherelady. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date with my latest videos. With that being said, let's dive in. Woman wants me fired from somewhere I don't work, without actually speaking to me. Okay, so this takes place in a care home where I would visit an old neighbor. I will call her Ruby in this tale. Ruby was basically bedridden and often napped while she had visitors. She also had a sweet tooth and loved her ice cream. If she was sleeping when I brought ice cream for her, I had permission to use the fridge in the day room to store this. Visitors could also get themselves a drink there for themselves and those they were visiting. Ruby's room door had a squeaky hinge. This plays a role. I went to visit Ruby with some ice cream. I signed the visitor's book and let myself in with the code. As I was closing the door behind me, it was tugged open by the woman in the title. She huffed and nudged past me. Ruby was sleeping, so I put my bag down and went to put the ice cream in the day room. As I passed the next room, the door opened and the woman looked. I nodded and went on my way. I chatted to one of the staff about Ruby and returned to her room. Not to make this too long over the visit, I popped in and out of Ruby's room a few times to get her ice cream, make her a cup of tea, etc. Each time I left the room, the woman would pop her head out and scowl me. I said goodbye to Ruby at the end of my visit, and as I was signing out, the woman left the office and pointed me out to the manager of the home, who looked puzzled, and the woman stormed out. The manager waited until she left, then bursted out laughing. The woman had just spent about 15 minutes complaining that a member of the staff had ignored her, not offered her or her mother any ice cream, tea, coffee, etc. Ignored her requests for an update on her mother's care and wanted the rude, uncaring, lazy person fired at once. So apparently that was me, the person she had never said a single word to. Shake my head at that one. Nothing like the good old silent treatment. I work here, but I don't work here. Crazy Karen accuses me of attacking her with tea. Okay, so here's the cast. Me, Karen, supervisor, and sandwich shop employee. So it happened. I finally met my first Karen after 19 years. I've met many people with the Karen haircut, but they've all been nice. Not this time. So I work at a well-known corner shop in the UK. We also happen to have a well-known sandwich shop as part of our shop. Now, they have a fancy coffee machine that makes lattes and all the fancy coffees, so we all tend to use that to get tea and coffee. Sometimes they'll offer to make one for us. In the mornings, there's usually only one person on making sandwiches, and we always have two. One supervisor and one sales assistant. Well, on this morning, I was behind their counter making myself a cup of tea because I hate coffee, and I only know how to make tea on the machine. The sandwich shop employee was out of the warehouse sorting out their delivery when Karen came in and caught me. I have my back to her, minding my own business. Now, bear in mind, our uniforms are completely different. Ours is black with our company name, and theirs is green with the hat with their company name on the front of their shirt in huge letters. Karen goes, "Excuse me?" Me turns around and smiles. "Yes, hello, I'll be over in just a sec." I assume she was a customer for my side. Karen, "Make me a latte and a cappuccino to go." "Oh, sorry, I'm afraid I can't do that. I don't work here." "But you're using the machine and are behind the counter, so you can just make me my drinks." "No, I'm sorry, I don't know how to make the drinks you want, and I don't work for the sandwich shop. I work for the corner shop. Look, my uniform says so." I point to the company logo on my shirt. "I don't care. You're behind the counter, so you can make my drinks." Getting fed up, I'm tired and it's too early to be dealing with this. I was just making myself a cup of tea. If you give me a second, I can buzz up the sandwich shop employee so she can make your drinks. "No, you are behind the counter. Don't lie to me. I saw you use the machine, so you do know how to use it. You're just being difficult, you twat." Look, I'm not lying to you. I don't appreciate you talking to me like that. I start to walk to the door to go to my side of the shop with my tea. Karen goes, "Don't you dare walk away from me, you booger." By this point, I've had enough, so I carry on walking to my side when she grabs my arm, making me spill my tea over the both of us. Great. I'll have to clean that up. I ignore her and keep walking and immediately buzz my supervisor up. Karen is still having a go at me and screaming about how I threw my tea over her. Luckily, the supervisor finally heard all the commotion and came over. Supervisor goes, "What's the problem here?" Karen,
"I tried to get some help from this employee here, and she ignored me. When I went to ask her again, she threw her drink on me. Look, it's burnt me."
proceeds to show the supervisor where the tea landed on her arm. I go, "What? That's not true." I was making myself a drink and explained to her I couldn't make her drink for her. When I said that, she got all mad and grabbed me, making me spill my drink. Go watch the cameras. At this, Karen looked a little scared but still kept her story. Supervisor goes to look at the cameras and I go back behind the toll to serve other customers. Karen stood quietly by the door. I'm surprised she didn't try and leave. Supervisor comes back out and proceeds to ban Karen for laying hands on me. She was fuming, but immediately left when Supervisor threatened to call the police for assault. I now have the satisfaction of seeing her face plastered on our wall of shame every time I work. Oh my god, Karen got her own wanted poster in this store. That's hilarious. I already said I don't work for you. Leave me be. Okay, so this happened a few hours ago and I decided to post this here while it's still fresh in my memory. And also, here's the obligatory excuse since English is not my primary language. Kind of important for this one. Okay, so I live in Rio de Janeiro and had to sort some business downtown. And I already am making my way back home when I get approached by what I assumed as an American tourist. I think he must be American mostly because of his accent and how incredibly loud he was. Okay, so here's the cast. E.T., no, not the alien, just entitled tourist. Me, molasses entity, myself. Entitled tourist.
"Hey you, kid! I need to go back to the hotel. Drive me back there now."
Noticing he was a tourist, I don't work for any hotels, and it's quite dangerous to ask strangers on the street of a foreign country to take you anywhere. There's an information counter in this building where they may help you.
"No, I know you work for the hotel, and I'll have your head if you don't take me back there this instant."
Sorry, but I already said I don't work for any hotels or for you. Excuse me. I made my way to the metro station only to find out that the tourist had followed me there and was mad. I sprinted to the turnstile, used my pass to get through it, and stopped to watch what happened to the tourist from the other side. He stopped chasing me right after I got through the turnstile and was gesturing obscenities at me. And while he was doing so, he left his backpack on the floor. Then, in a godly act of instant karma, oh my god, someone stole his backpack. I burst out laughing and get on the train and make my way home without any other incidences. Jeez, but the fact that this guy had the nerve to demand for a ride home? Come on, that's crazy. I do actually work here, sir. Pretty short one, but I thought it was amusing. So 2 or 3 years ago, I was a revenue officer assistant at a major Midwest zoo. One of my jobs was to, once or twice a week, go around to all of the vending machines in the zoo, remove the bills, replace any change that was running low, and make note of products that were out. Usually I'd be driven to each location by a security officer with a golf cart, due to not wanting to walk miles around a massive zoo alone with a bag full of money. Not to mention, it was often super hot out and not having to walk around in restrictive dress pants in 100+ heat was a blessing. Plus, most of the security staff were pretty cool and I liked hanging out with them if I could. It was a fairly busy day at the zoo and I was being driven to one of the really far away machines by my favorite security guard. We passed a few people on the path and he dropped me off at the machine so I could get to work. I pulled out my keys to start opening the exterior door of the vending machine as the people we passed caught up to us. I hear the guy say to his wife, "Oh look, she's special." Then louder to me, "Well, aren't you special?" I shot him with a confused look and kept working. "You get to be escorted just to get a soda." His wife kind of tugged on his sleeve and mumbled, "Honey, I think she works here." But he didn't care. He was ready to go off on me. I unlocked the first lock and went to unlock the second.
"Don't we all wish we could have our own cup too?"
I finished unlocking the door and swung it open while making eye contact with him. "Oh," he says, and rushes off avoiding eye contact with me. His wife again says, "I told you she worked here." I have no idea how it wasn't obvious I was an employee. Despite not wearing a zookeeper uniform, I still had a zoo name badge, a photo ID on my belt, a radio, a zoo-issued cash bag, and a big set of keys. The security guard was silent watching the whole thing, and we had a good laugh about it. I hope Mr. Sodaman made a stop by the petting zoo later to relieve some stress. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash that like button as it would really help me out. Subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date with my latest videos, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.